Yo, hey, it's your boys. It's Anime Parley. It's just us duo, two of us, two
What up?
musketeers, twin dragons, holding it down,
There
holding
you
for the
go.
fort. The rest of the crew will be here at some point in time, but obviously you read the title of the video we are talking about, chapter 1160. Mr. Waterfree, since you were
Yeah,
here,
what up?
I mean, you can introduce yourself even though I just said your name, but what were your
What up,
thoughts on
bro?
the chapter?
Yeah, the chapter was great, y'all. Peace and blessings. It was great. Still in the flashback. It's what I would have expected. So no harm, no foul, I would say. We're definitely getting some really nice context to, such a grand moment. God Valley is notorious at this point, throughout the One Piece series. And so to actually see the nuances of what was unfolding in this instance, it's pretty insane. Like the whole dragon thing being the one to save both Shanks and Shamrocks, that's a really interesting plot twist. And it's I know that there is no implication of him realizing who he's saving, but all the same, there's just so many like interesting points to come from that. Another thing that I thought was really dope or intriguing to kind of focus in on is the whole aspect of seeing Teach as a child and then him being basically on that auctioning block and having that distinction called out between being a Davy clan member and also potentially a Buccaneer as well. And so, yeah, definitely something to unpack there, I think, in regards to that distinction between race and clan. But yeah, overall the chapter was it's good. I'm glad to see things are kind of rolling. I'm not gonna lie to you. Still in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, great. Yes, now we're moving at pace so we can get back to Elbaf and what's actually happening there. And so don't get me wrong, I love that we're finally able to see what's happening at God Valley, but just the whole framing of it just kind of made me prioritize what was happening on Elbaf more than this flashback. I would love to hear it. I just probably would have wanted it at another time.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, okay, so for the fans at home, obviously before these recordings, we just go back and reread the chapter, right? So you get that initial, it dropped on a Thursday, it dropped on a Friday. Oh my God, that's crazy, all this intrigue. And then, we take some time with it, we go back and reread it, and just see how it feels. And I got to be honest, like, I thought it was fine. Like, obviously on the reread, you pick up little details, you, appreciate the official translation for its official translation and for its better scanlations, right? It's cleaner images, all this other kind of stuff. As it relates to the story, still chugging along. I mean, that's all you can say. I mean, like, obviously, it's things are beginning to heat up. It almost feels almost Marineford esque in relation to
Mhm.
all of these different
Scale.
players and factions and stuff like that colliding all at once. I mean, I think Oda definitely has his work cut out for him as far as the detail and remembering the setting and the set dressing and all the different players and combining them and the dialogue. Obviously, this is a super dialogue heavy chapter. It's like a lot to read through. It almost felt like Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, as far as actual plot, like how the story moved along in this particular chapter, I mean, it was kind of fine. I mean, we got some interesting reveals, like Dragon's the person who saves Kuma. You know, Shaki basically is up for grabs on the little auction block or whatever, and whoever
Yeah.
wins this will get her. I mean, we kind of got that information last chapter, but seeing basically the God Valley incident in a hunting game activate, we got to see Teach, who is, well, Blackbeard, who was terrified as a kid, again, nodding to that kind of sympathetic flashback character arc. I honestly feel like this may be the only flashback we get of Blackbeard. I highly doubt we will get one in the future, so
Mm.
this is kind of it. I don't really know how Oda wants to make us feel. If it's like, oh, it's kind of like the Joker, and they have a sad story, but they've gone on to commit these atrocities that make the sad backstory contextual, but not necessarily relevant to the present story. Because again, Blackbeard
Um,
has killed plenty of devil fruit users to steal their devil
yeah.
fruits. He killed Whitebeard. He was responsible for the capture and execution of Ace. Um, so
Yeah.
this is like a
Relevance,
this
I would say fair.
sure.
But if you would say that it doesn't excuse him, absolutely. Like I
Mm,
could agree that, right? Where it's like he's done heinous enough things that even though we can acknowledge his bad and horrible backstory,
mm.
it's almost not enough to absolve him of his present day sins. Is That's more of what I'm picking up from what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't think it matters at the end of the day. I do think that like we're getting a sympathetic story. I think Blackbeard. We talked about this before. Blackbeard will team up with Luffy. They will take down Emu. I would not even be surprised with everything that is going on. We might even get a Blackbeard like in Elbaf. Um, I mean, maybe. I still think it's gonna wait until they reach Laftel effectively, but
Mm.
I mean, I just the echoes of like rocks being so prominent within this flashback. Luffy's about to confront Emu. I would not be surprised if Blackbeard pokes his head in some way, shape, or form, just to kind of tie up this lineage, particularly within this moment. Um,
I could
I
see
don't know.
that.
That's just my guess. I think it might happen, particularly since it seems like Blackbeard is being featured so prominently within this part of the flashback. We see his mom. Interesting character design. Probably doesn't matter. We get a little bit of information on the Davy clan. We don't even really know what they look like. It seems like it varies. Doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Kind of this weird because they're also D members, so it's kind of like a hat on a hat. They're special because they're a part of the D tribe, but then even more special because they're part of the Davy clan. But the Davy clan doesn't seem like it's a unique race, and maybe it is. Maybe that's the reason why Blackbeard is able to wield more than one devil fruit. But we haven't seen any of the Davy clan, including Rocks, exhibit any kind of like special racial characteristics. So the jury's out on that.
Well, not out completely, but
Well, I mean,
also just that aspect of, you know, the Davy clan as a specific subsect
mm.
of potentially the Buccaneers, right?
I think I think it gets a little heady when it's like subsects of races. We haven't really seen that other than like different mixes of fishmen, like
Yeah.
fishmen, mermaids, right?
Well, no,
But
but to be honest, I think that that was honestly one of the grander plot developments and points that was brought up by Vegapunk during Egghead.
mhm.
So when Vegapunk was actually just explaining the world, and maybe it was even before then, actually, it was maybe Shaka that was explaining it potentially.
Mhm.
There was a moment where one of the Vegapunks expressed that, oh yeah, this race mixed with this race, and that's how we ended up with this race, right? So like your long
Mhm.
arm tribe, all of these different races were technically derivatives or subsects of some of the other predominant races. We see that more prominently right now just because of like the whole ancient giants versus the traditional ones, like with the horns versus without. But it's conversations that we have been having for a while now. Actually, like we bringing it up when we talk about Usopp and how his potential upbringing is that of a mixture of a tontata and a giant to make a normal human size, right? Like you kind of hear that conjecture going on. You also hear
Yeah.
things about like, okay, well, what is the nature of Kaido and Yamato as Oni, right? Are they somewhat of a derivative of ancient giant and something else that gives them those horns, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, the idea of the Davy clan being a specific subsect with a different potential, right,
Mhm.
than the traditional Buccaneer, it's not far fetched, so to speak. But it is not anything that we have explored to any real depth up until this point, right? We've only assessed it and we've only had it acknowledged, but we have never really assessed if those kinds of differences truly make a big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think we are kind of getting into a heady territory. Like, I think Oda's already kind of like introducing all these races that don't really seem to have a real purpose other than the giants in this particular moment in the story, right? Like, we get the Oni. Like, there is a race of Oni. We have no idea what that means because we've left Wano, and the only two Oni that we are aware of are Yamato and Kaido and maybe the numbers. We don't even know. I mean, like, I think they're ogre kind of giants. We don't really know, like, really what they are. Maybe some type of Oni. We don't know what that is. So yeah, I would be a little disappointed if we're just getting like more racial lore, because we don't even know what Buccaneers really are. I
Right.
mean, they could be a subset of like basically some kind of human giant, whatever. I mean, to be honest,
Hmm.
when it comes to Odin, this particular moment in the story, I think we both know he's just gonna SBS it. I think we're gonna just get an SBS
Yeah.
lore drop at some point. I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna be in the actual story. So I mean, we'll just have to see. Couple quick notes. Either
Yeah.
Shaki already has a devil fruit, and I don't know if she does or not. I don't know if we've seen her use her stone powers. We know that she's like a heartthrob, but I don't know if she has the I think it's Mero no Mi. And the reason why that's
Mhm.
important is because they have her tied up, but it doesn't seem like it's sewn cuffs. We haven't actually seen the handcuffs.
Right.
And like I'm wondering, is she not extremely powerful? Can she not break out? How the hell did they capture her? And particularly there's no one around her but like regular celestial dragon people, whatever.
Yeah.
So I noted that. We get a hint, or not hint, but we get a look at Gunko. Gunko is long haired. Clearly
Also,
is
men may.
she is as old as Garling, right? Like, or maybe a little bit younger, but she's pretty old. And Garling probably in the present story is like at the very least like 60s, 70s. So that would make
He could have
her
looked like 35, 40.
no in the present storyline. He's an old
He
man.
might. Oh, in the present storyline, yeah.
Garling,
Oh,
yeah, in the present storyline, he's an old man. So like that puts Gunko at like, I mean, she's obviously immortal at this point. So she's immortal,
right, right. Or this is the moment she became immortal, right? We don't know.
possibly,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, basically Gunko has had the arrow no mi or whatever it's called for a
Hmm.
while now, and she's very proficient at it, which I thought was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Since God Valley.
Yeah, so she's been around for a while, which is weird that like Saint Summers was also older despite being immortal now. Maybe he's just immortal now. It's just kind of a weird thing.
Maybe it's
Like
just
try
like
to
a hair growth
yeah,
thing.
trying to keep track of like how old everybody is kind of
Yeah.
difficult, particularly when you add in immortality. The way in which, because now I need to go back and look at the way in which they treat Gunko, and it's like Gunko is like a member of like a prestigious family, like, and it seems like she's extremely popular. So I don't know. I mean, they said she was like
Yeah.
the pet of like basically the Holy Knights of God, which is the new name that we're getting. So it is one of
Yeah.
those kind of things where it's like, uh, does she have a role of prestige or does she not? I'm confused at this moment.
Yeah. I think that she has a role prestigious enough to be a participant within the games, right? Because I think it's one thing to be a knight of God or a holy knight in this
Sure.
scenario to serve as an act of duty on behalf of, Mary Joie. But I think it's another thing to be a participant within the games, right? And so maybe that does call up some level of distinction for House Manmeyer and the family that Gunko is coming from. And also, honestly, that does give a little bit more context to the whole Brooke situation, right? Because he's
Dude,
remembering her from being a child, and
I want to hear no more about Brooke. I
maybe
want
it's
to hear
ties to that
no
House
more about Brooke,
Manmeyer.
bro.
I love hearing
I
about
mean,
Brooke.
we'll get more from him, but dude, like, I just feel like that was such a
Yeah,
weird tease of a flashback to
yeah,
then jump into another flashback. You know what I mean? Like, we got a tease of that, then we get basically Emu just wrecking shop and like turning
yeah.
everybody evil, and then we just
Right.
go into a flashback. Like, we are so
I
far
mean,
removed from like when that was even slightly interesting. I mean, unless we can see
yeah.
Brooke in his fully fleshed out form on God
Yeah, that's
Valley, which again, it's
exactly what I
like,
was about to say.
but then it's like, well, how did you forget
Yeah.
that, dude? Like, you forgot like that you
I mean, if
were.
that was the place that he died, right? Or maybe that was
But that
like
no, that's
maybe
not where he dies though. We know where he dies.
well, to the story that we know it. I'm not gonna put it past Oda to retcon something for the sake of this
I mean, we
unfolding.
know he dies on a
That's
ship
one
from
of those
like
things.
basically like they crew attacks like a pirate crew that has like poison weapons and they all pass out from
Yeah,
poison.
that's true.
But
But
it's
what if it
like
was like the
I think
moment he
we
got
need
the
to
devil
see
fruit?
we you cannot wink at like a history between Brook in his human form in Gunko, who then becomes effectively like the kind of pseudo pro like main antagonist, and
Yeah.
then like not you're in the flashback
You
and
can
then
address
not even
that.
address it. He's got to show up. He's got to show up and guide his
I
rally.
want him to show up so
And
bad.
we need to see like Brooke, like how do you not remember this? This is a pretty kind of like this is such
Yeah.
a formative event for everybody involved. Like it was the destruction of the Rocks Pirates. It was like Roger and Garp became like allies and
Yeah.
heroes. Like it's like, bro, like this is a pretty big thing. You would remember this. So he needs to
Yeah.
be there, but we also need to understand why he forgot. Maybe he hits his head or some other kind of BS that
Right.
Oda's gonna pull out of his ass. And I know fans aren't gonna like that, but I don't really care. It is what he's gonna do. He's gonna like hit his
Yeah.
head and forget, and then
I mean, it could
decide
be
to become a
something.
pirate.
It could be like that, or it could just be the standard case. I done accidentally waved down my camera, so now it's like doing the whole.
No, no,
Uh,
you're good, dude. We'll fix it
so
in post.
there's
We're not gonna
there's
fix it in post.
oh wait, we're not gonna
I'm
fix
not.
it.
I'm not gonna edit it.
That's hilarious. So there is that aspect of potentially him just being a royal knight or royal guard of this house Manmire, right?
That's
And
possible.
maybe he in that position doesn't have a lot of pull to know about what's happening elsewhere, right? Or even if he is on God Valley, maybe he didn't get the full scope of, oh yeah, they're having a hunting game going on right now.
Yeah, but he
And
works for the Celestial Dragons, bro. He would know more or less how they move.
yeah,
Like, and this is like
yeah.
a noble house. Like, they're not wearing the fucking
I
dumbass
mean,
little bubble helmets and shit like that. They're like rocking out with like, they're like sweet ass little character designs and shit. You know what I
that's
mean?
hilarious. That's yeah,
They're
that's
like the
true. But
Gote fucking 13, and everybody else is like a regular enlisted fucking Shinigami. They don't get
that's
the
hilarious.
cool like the cool
Unlisted is
like
hilarious.
accessories and fashion and all
Right.
that other stuff. Like
That's hilarious.
they are
Nah,
fodder.
I think even if that is the case, they got their cool outfits and their whole way of life. I think that Brooke hasn't. I mean, in the moments where Celestial Dragon is present, I think he is wisely enough discerning to be like, oh yeah, they're a threat and I don't like them. I think that we haven't gotten the full context or scope of his feelings or thoughts about them up until this point, purely for plot's sake, right? But I don't think that there has ever been a moment where Brooke outwardly expressed active ignorance of their existence or anything like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's fair enough to say that it was an omission of the truth,
Listen,
but it
Oda's gonna
wasn't
do
like
what
it.
Oda's gonna do, and he's gonna make it make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, he's gonna tell you to kick rocks. But like, I mean, I'm sure it won't be sloppy, but I'm sure there will be like some holes or some like pieces of like thread that you can pull and be like, I don't know if this really makes sense. But I do feel like we're getting cameos from everybody else. We're
We're getting the
probably
best
we're
cameos.
probably gonna get a cameo from like Brooke in his human form, like, oh man, what's going on? Like as he's drinking tea or something,
Right.
he's just spit out tea or something.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Okay, so one
Oh
more
man,
thing though.
yeah,
Well, a couple more things.
yeah.
Kaido is losing all of his aura, but he's not the only one. He keeps asking about his devil fruit. It's like, dude, we know you're gonna get a devil fruit. Like, please, Oda,
Yeah.
stop. Like,
Relax,
we
Kaido.
get it. Like every time we see him, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna get me a devil fruit, right? This is what I get my devil fruit, right? Like, I really
That
want that
boy.
devil fruit." It's like, bro, we've known since Egghead Island when we got the Kuma flashback that your devil fruit was on the island and that you were asking back then, basically, what was up with that devil fruit. Like,
Hey,
so
what's up with that?
it's a little annoying, it's a little tired, but beyond Kaido losing aura,
He's like are we there yet?
Roger is losing aura. Roger is losing all of his aura by like just being too like kind of
Ghoulish.
like pick me as far as like a main character. I don't know. It's like the character design is cool, but he just doesn't have any swag in this like part of his arc. It's like,
He's
we're
very
gonna see
generic.
we're gonna see him pretty soon team up with Garp to take down probably a reverse seed rocks. And I feel like I'm looking at Roger and I'm like, I don't even care. I'm looking at Garp and Garp has all the aura. Garp just sucked all the aura out of the room with that like splashy little final panel where he like shook
That's
rocks
hilarious.
and shook like Roger in just throwing a cannonball.
Right.
Like, which by the way, I
Right.
wish we could see more of in like like kind of present day older Garp. It's like, bro, like that was your weapon of choice, throwing cannonballs with your bare hand. That's pretty awesome, dude. Like that's pretty
That's
sweet.
hilarious.
And also, we
It's
haven't seen a devil
yeah.
fruit from rocks. All nobody has devil fruits, bro. Like nobody has devil fruits of like this golden age of
Yeah.
pirates.
I mean, that's what
Doesn't
Kaido was trying to express. He was like,
yeah,
"Yo, listen, back in my day, they wasn't," but he was the one that was
like
thirsty for it.
like Whitebeard has
It's
it,
hilarious. Yeah,
and Charlotte Linlin has it. Like Big Mom has it.
right.
I
All
don't
the
think we've
others, I don't
seen
think they
anybody.
have.
I don't think. I mean, maybe like Shiki the Golden Lion. I think he might have shown that he's got a devil fruit. I don't
Oh yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Shiki's there. What's his name? I think they said the guy from Bullet is there. They say potentially in the
Bullet,
background. Yeah, from one of the
nigga.
movies.
We not doing
He
non-canon
said
shit
we
right now,
not doing
bro.
that.
We're
He
not
said we
doing
not
that.
doing it.
But bro,
But
like
to that point, I do think that some of them
Roger,
on the crew have right. Roger,
look,
Rayleigh, no,
Roger, Rayleigh,
yep,
Scopper,
yep,
and we
nope,
don't know
nope,
the
nope.
rest of them on the crew, right?
Yeah,
Like Rox hasn't shown a devil fruit that we know of,
right, right.
and Garp obviously doesn't have a devil fruit. All these people were like conquerors, advanced conquerors, hockey like masters, and like none of them had devil fruits. So it's one of those kind of things where I'm like, it kind of makes this newer generation, which is like so dependent on devil fruits. Like everybody has a devil fruit. The big bads have devil fruits. The next to be the greats have devil fruit, except for like Kobe, Luffy,
Hmm.
Blackbeard, like Sabo, like all these young dudes like that are supposed to like carry the torch, except for Zoro. But Zoro wasn't on that like
Yeah.
splashy little final panel, right? Of course.
He was. Wait, he was though.
No, he wasn't. No. Zoro wasn't on there. I don't think.
You
Was
talking
he?
about when they
When
showed like,
Vegapunk did
oh, the
that,
race
when
to
Vega,
get
yeah,
the?
yeah,
I
Zoro
swear he
wasn't
was
on
on that
there.
panel, bro. He wasn't.
I
He
don't think
probably
he
wasn't then.
was. Maybe. Let me look it up, dude. I
I might
have
be
like
thinking
all this in
about.
like I have all this in a file. Hold on.
Yeah, I have
No,
another
no. Okay, I'll tell you who it
panel in
is.
my head.
Buggy, Devil Fruit user.
Buggy.
Blackbeard, Devil Fruit user. Luffy, Devil Fruit user. Shanks is on
Aokichi
there, but
was
he's
there.
not
No,
Devil Fruit.
Kuzan.
Kuzan, Devil
Shanks.
Fruit user. Garling,
Kuzan.
not Devil Fruit user as far as we know. Kobe,
Garland
not
was
Devil Fruit
there.
user. Emu's
Kobe.
on there, Devil Fruit user.
Ibu.
Sabo, Devil Fruit
Blackbeard.
user. Dragon, probably a Devil Fruit user. There's somebody else that's on here. I think this might be the man marked by fire who's below
Ah,
Dragon.
yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Still don't know who that is, and it's taking too long for us to learn. And then it's Akainu, who's also a Devil Fruit user. So it's like
Yeah.
out of 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna have this on the screen by the way, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of 12 people, you have 3 that are confirmed non-Devil Fruit users: Shanks, Kobe, and it looks like Garling,
Mm,
and that's it.
interesting.
So this past
Yeah.
generation of pirates were just like they were just godlike.
Past generation, I would say yes, but is it fair to count Garling now that we know that he has taken over the powers of Saint Saturn?
Um,
Because technically, he got that essence, right? Remember
we
when
don't
he
even
joined the
yeah,
Five
but we
Elders?
don't know if that's a devil fruit, but I agree with you. He does have powers now and he can transform. So yeah, we'll throw him in that
Mm,
category. So Garling is so it's basically 2. It's Shanks and it's
yeah.
Kobe who do not have devil fruits. So yeah, everybody's kind of like juicing right now. It's like steroids, bro. Everybody's juicing and they're not playing the game like like fair competitors. They're all
That's hilarious.
Lance Armstronging it with their
Oh,
devil
Jesus.
fruit
What did he do?
devil fruit doping, bro.
My goodness. You
It's
have to
kind of
call
hard.
him back.
Hey, it is what it is, bro. It makes you kind of look at Luffy a little bit differently when you really look at it. It's like, dang, dude, like you really couldn't do it without a devil fruit, bro. Your grandpa was just rocking out, bro. He ain't had no devil fruit.
Yeah, I
What's your? And
mean,
he trained you. What's your excuse, bro? What were you gonna do if
that's
you didn't fight a Gomu Gomu no Mi? What are you gonna
that's
do if you didn't
hilarious.
awaken it?
Nah, he would have been fine. I feel like
I don't
Luffy would
know,
have been
bro. I
Luffy.
think
I think the
Luffy
problem
takes
is
so
that
much punishment
yeah,
that
but
if
he
that boy
does
didn't
that
have that Gomu Gomu no Mi,
because
whew, I think he'd die.
nah,
I think he'd be dead.
he he would have adapted to the situation he was in. I mean, we got to remember he was. I don't know what this camera's got going on right now, but
I know
effectively, is it really
it's
going
like
at it?
yeah, it's like voguing like you
Yeah,
right now.
right.
It's like in out in out in out. Yeah.
Crazy thing. I have never seen it do that before. That's crazy. Um, but no, like he ate that devil fruit maybe what when he was like 5, 6 years old, something crazy young, right? So it's natural to understand that okay, Luffy might have just grown up literally with his devil fruit, right? And so he had become accustomed to what it meant to be a rubber human. from a very young age. So he really didn't know much different. And so I think I give a lot of weight to that in his fighting style, in how he shows up as a tank, because he knows he's made out of rubber. It's just going to hurt for a little while and it's just going to dissipate. Like, the way that he fights is indicative of the fact that he has always known that to be himself and his power. But if he grew up without the devil fruit, I think that Luffy, as hard-headed and kind of ignorant as he is at times,
That boy got to
I
pick up a
think
sword, bro. You got to end up like
he
Roger.
would have done something
You got to
to
pick up a
be
weapon,
able to
dog.
compete. Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
would have been able to compete.
You have to have
for
a
sure.
weapon if you don't have a devil fruit. I'm sorry. Like, you just have to. Shanks has one. Rox has one. Garp was throwing cannonballs and stuff
Cannons,
like
yeah.
that. It's like, you need to have a weapon, and you can enhance
Although
it with
he
hockey or
does-
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody else who's like just using hands. And
Nah,
they do
Garp
not
is
have a devil
that
fruit.
dude.
He was for
That
sure,
and
but his
cannons.
specialty was like cannons. Like it seemed like
But that
I
looks
don't
like it's
know.
for long range fights.
for
You
long
see
range. He
him
wasn't using it
wrap
close
up,
range. You're right.
He got it,
But he was
without
using
Ichi.
he was using that advanced conqueror's haki like nobody's business. But that's my thing though. I will say this, just shout out to rest in peace the goat Ace. Like, this dude awakened conqueror's haki unbeknownst to him at like 7 years old, 8 years old. Let's just put a moment of silence out there for Ace for being like a
pretty
stone
crazy.
cold G. If Oda had written hockey properly up until that point, like the things that like Ace should have been able to do by the time that he was like, in his like early 20s or whatever, when he dies in the story, he should be insane. I mean, if you look at Luffy's growth in 2 years, like
Right.
not just in his devil fruit use, not just in like his awakening hockey, like Ace was really kind of that guy, right? And had a Logia. Like, Ace really, I don't know, I miss Ace.
Yeah.
Ace is so dreamy. I'm just
That's
kidding.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
But but for real though, it's like Ace had like
hilarious.
this dude awakened Conqueror's Haki as like a kid. If he had like honed it and practiced it, which Whitebeard supposedly was helping him do or whatever, or like at least trying to prime him to be the next Pirate King, Ace should have been like the monster of like these advanced Conqueror's Haki users of the previous generation, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, honestly,
similar to Shanks, like Loki.
Yeah, I agree. And the reason that there's even more weight behind that statement, look at the way he moved throughout the world and think about others who moved like him in their status. Mihawk
Kuzan.
and Kuzan.
Yeah.
Those are the only other two. Maybe we've seen Brook at some point, but that doesn't really count.
No.
Of just like in the
Because I don't think
sense
he
of
could run forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moving on their own accord, solo across islands, like literally going from place to place.
And
solo
specifically for
endeavor.
Kuzan, for
Yeah.
Kuzan, like, and Ace, they're both Devil Fruit users.
Right.
Like, Mihawk is not. Mihawk can fall in the water and it's absolutely fine, right?
Right,
But like
right.
Kuzan is riding a bike across like crazy seas with like, I assume like maybe sea kings and stuff like that around. And technically Ace was just rocking like a
He's
rocket,
cruising.
like a literal
Yeah.
rocket ship, just like cruising, sailing across the, I don't know,
Right.
listening to Sailing by Christopher Cross.
Like a
as he's
fire
just, like,
surfer.
yeah, literally just like hanging 10 and checking out all these cool islands and making friends.
Right.
And he's like Kung
And
Fu
so you
with
just
David
know.
Carradine. He's just doing his own thing. He's just following his own
You
way.
just know he had to be goated to be moving around like
Bro.
that on his own accord.
And they're trying to just
Like-
hand that to Sabo, and it pisses me off.
That's
It makes me
hilarious.
mad.
That's
But
all
anyways,
good,
we
man.
don't have to get back into that. There's a video for that. Go check that one out.
Yeah.
I don't have any more thoughts on this chapter. Obviously, we're on break next week. We will get more eventually. As far as predictions, we're going to get more God Valley. That's what we're going to get.
Yeah, more God Valley. I would be really happy and surprised if we saw Brooke show up in some way, shape, form, or fashion, just
I
to give
don't
us that
think-
payoff.
yeah.
You know,
We're not getting out of this
happens, it
anytime
happens.
soon. I would not be surprised if we don't get out of this flashback until like 1164. I think it's going to be like maybe another like month and a half before we're out of this flashback. And that's assuming that Otis gives us 3 consecutive chapters before another break.
Yeah,
I
and
think it's
I
gonna
feel
be a
like
while.
there was. Am I tripping, or was there a little bit of interplay with this flashback? Like, or
do you
was
mean?
it? Because I feel like there was like a little bit of flashback, and then we kind of
Mm.
went back into current time, and then it came back to the flashback. I don't know if I'm imagining that.
No, we didn't. We
But
didn't. We didn't break in. Go back to present day at all. But
okay.
um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like obviously we would get the
Hopefully,
continuation
yeah.
of Garp fighting with Roger, fighting with Rox, probably some kind of standstill or something like that. Maybe Rox escapes because he's got to get closer to his family. At some point in time, it's going to look like basically the situation is completely out of control. I do think that Emu is going to pop up through Gunko and basically just wreck shop. That's going to take, at the very least, I think it's not going to happen next chapter. It might happen the chapter after that, and it might just be like a cliffhanger on that one, and maybe we get another break. I don't know. And then after that, there's still going to be at least maybe like two more chapters after that to resolve that, which I feel like is going to be relatively quickly. I think Emu's going to pop in, reversey Rocks when nobody's looking, and then Rocks is going to come back, and then Roger and Garp are going to have to fight him to basically stop his rampage. We'll get a tragic death of him. He'll probably die with a smile on his face or something. Like Teach is carried off to a fate that obviously we know is it's not going to be great because he's going to turn evil. But yeah, I think it's going to take some time to resolve. It's just kind of odd though because I mean, it's clear the Roger Pirates are going to leave with Shockey for sure because she's going to end up with Rayleigh.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if it's possible if this is where Roger contracts his disease because we know he dies of a disease and he seems healthy and
Yeah,
fine
up
right
until this
now.
point,
So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something,
or if
maybe
it
it's
was like genetic.
some kind of serious wound or something like that. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. But I do think it's
Yeah,
going to take a little while for us to kind of get this payoff. And I do feel like this is the flashback that nobody asked for. And I think we need to get
yeah.
back to the Luffy show up top.
That's hilarious. It's the flashback nobody asked for right now, but we've absolutely been asking for it, and I'm
Mm,
so grateful that we're getting it.
mm,
It's just also the timing of it. Like, it
yeah.
don't like we got bait and switched a little bit there, and that's all. I'm still feeling that. I guess the residuals of that. I feel like I got shook too hard. You know when it's like somebody jukes you out and you get whiplash, kind of
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like,
It's like it
snaps
got
your neck.
faked out. I got faked out with the story. I thought this is where we were going. Let's finish that point.
Dude, like,
But
I'm going to
yeah,
check real quick. The flashback starts technically.
yeah.
This is 11:52. That's when the
Dang, really?
flashback starts. That was June 22nd. It is, for those of you who are watching this at home, as the day of recording this, September 14th.
Wow.
So let's do the math. July, August, September. That's 3 months.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
3 months. It's been 3 months in this flashback. So,
I
like,
don't even think I realized
that's a
that.
lot. That's 8 chapters. And I still think there's going to be four. I think this might honestly be one of the longest flashbacks we've had. So I think that we are not going to get out of here for at least another 4 chapters. This is going to be a very long flashback, longer than Kuma's. And I think it is going to be good. I think it's going to be very enlightening to the story. I think it's going to tell us everything that we maybe even questioned or wanted to know from that time period because it kind of has to. I'm wondering if we'll get a lot more new information or just like loose ends being tied. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the
Feels
whole
like
thing,
some loose ends
yeah.
being tied.
I'll be honest though, this still has to set us back up to like because again, cannot stress this
Yeah,
enough. How did this affect Harold in the throne room? Like that's what we're trying to
yeah,
figure out. Like that's the mystery. Where we're at
yeah,
right now, Harold is like so irrelevant to this flashback arc. It is the Rock show right now. Like
yeah.
it honestly, it might even be more than 4 chapters that I'm thinking about it because we still need to get to like Harold and how he feels about Rox's death and like when he rips off his horns and then like Loki in the throne
Oh,
room and like we are just gonna be so excuse my language balls deep in this flashback and we still need to like take it back to like get us to where like Luffy is like, all right, I'm letting you go. Let's go do this. Let's go tackle this. Let's go tackle Emu. So like I don't know. It's
yeah,
just a lot. It's like God's Knights need to be introduced to Luffy, which I mean we're sort of kind of getting, and Emu possibly needs to be introduced to
yeah,
Luffy, and Luffy needs to go with Loki and like be with a vengeance,
yeah.
which we still don't even know what's going on up top because Zoro and Sanji are there right now, and like Sanji's still
Craziness.
probably gonna
Yeah,
awaken Conqueror Saki because he's like kind of getting cucked over it, but
hilarious.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot. There's a
It
lot.
is a lot. It's a lot, and I'm looking forward to when we get
Oda's
back
lost in the
to
woods right now. He's lost.
reality. I get it. It's the
He's on a
woods.
side quest.
If
It's
there
a
was
side
ever
quest.
if there was ever a side quest to take, this would be
Yes.
the one for sure.
Mm,
Because we all want to know what's happening at God Valley, but
mm,
also just the timing. It'll be fine. I do think we'll go for like another 4 to 6 chapters, right? Like
mm,
similar to what you're saying, just because there are so many loose ends or things to tie together. I do see value in the flashback already up until this point. So it's not to say that while yes, it has been meandering, right? There are some tidbits of information that do bring in meaningful relevance to the current story, right? Which are the
mm.
things like how Gunko is showing up in a participation of the God Valley, the hunt, the games that are unfolding, the way that Dragon showed up for Shanks and Shamrock, and what those implications are. Those the fact that Gunko has her arrow powers already, right? Like these things are like relevant to where we are in the story right now, and well enough seeds of information that it feels that the flashback has been warranted enough already, but we know that there's so much more that could be unpacked. Hopefully, he's able to do it with, precision over these next couple of chapters without as much meandering. But I do think that going in the right direction. We are getting to the climax of this flashback, in my opinion. I think that we're going to see the highest heights probably in the next chapter or two. And then there might be 1 or 2 things to tie it together before we get back to the main story.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's still all interesting, fun to like read information. I'm just very curious how Oda is gonna like tie this back into the thrust and the momentum of everything is going to shit basically on the upper level, and we need to get up there like yesterday because people are getting
Yeah.
killed and dying, and
3 months
the
ago.
library is on fire, and like all the kids are about to die and all this other kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, we are at a high urgency, and then we
Yeah.
just slowed it
Yes.
down,
Yes.
and like slowed it down, and then like went off again in just a completely different direction. It's like,
Exactly. You really
yeah,
hit the nail on the head there. It was the level of urgency that was depicted up until that point. You're very
yeah,
right about that. Now that I'm thinking about it, like,
yeah,
yeah, because how do you set something on fire and then be like, we're gonna put your imagination over here for another moment, and then like the whole time it's like in your mind it's still on fire, and so
yeah.
like so much of that library is burned down already. I don't think it exists
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
Like that's how I feel in my head now.
Dude, and
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of like One Punch Man, where it's like there's that moment where like they build up the tension enough where like the heroes are about to just get like smashed and killed by this like crazy, freakishly strong villain, and
Yeah.
like right before Saitama's just like, oh, this guy, poosh, it's just like we do a flashback, we do a flashback for like 3 months.
Right.
It's like, whoa,
That's true.
okay, all right, so yeah,
That
I
is
don't know.
true.
Anyways, those are our thoughts on that. It's been real. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's Anime Parlay. It's your boy Killer Cam.
Wild and Free signing off.
Yo, all right. Till next time, we'll drop some more videos throughout the week. Obviously check our socials, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We wanted to do this short. We're like, this is gonna be like 15 minutes, like 13 minutes, like something short.
Yeah.
Never. It's always long.
That's
It
hilarious.
always is.
We
Okay.
be meandering in conversation too. That's why.
It's always like there's nothing to talk about, and then we talk about the nothing that there is to talk
Yeah,
about.
exactly,
And then it turns out
exactly.
there's a lot to talk about. All right, anyways.
That's hilarious.
All right, brother. I'll catch you next time.
All right, bro. Peace and blessings, y'all.
All right,
Take it
everybody.
easy.
Peace.